Hi there, Smart School Day 1438. I say what's up, hello here. I have recently been pondering quite deeply on how much I hate everything in this disgusting, horrible Chungus world, and how nothing brings me any happiness or joy, and how everything is so extremely difficult, and how there's no good payoff to ever working towards anything. You might be wondering, why do you think these things? Well, I recently escaped from transsexual fat camp led by Finster, for the developmentally slow, and the hard of having a soul. And in between long, hard, and grueling smishing my flaccid penis up against other fat, dysgenic femboy sessions, and going to fake lesbian class where we call ourselves lesbians and pretend that we do tea for tea and enjoy it, I came to the conclusion that life was not worth living. I am a survivor of narcissistic abuse, but not for much longer, hopefully, mashallah. I've been campaigning very desperately to be some kind of FBI plant for the good part of like 12 years now. But every time I try and get in contact with the FBI and tell them that I am so close and so ready to do something devastating, they send me back a large video of them laughing in my fucking face and a money spread. They say that if I can't afford a machine gun of my own volition, then I should just kill it myself. I don't need to take anyone else out with me. Low-key truth. They say they don't need another mentally ill cross-dresser to work in their state propaganda department or to take people out in a blaze of glory. They already have one, and their name is Vosh. To be honest though, I get it. I could never be someone who commits a massive amount of violence because I am very sensitive. I am an empath for sounds. I'm very sensitive to noise. It scares me. It makes me ooh. I saw a shooting one time live in person. I was in America. What was happening at the time? I think I was in the diner where the gay black homeless man came up to me and said, "Come back to my house and we'll do crack," which seemed very oxymoronic to me. Not the crack part. Gay men love crack. No, I mean the homeless. And then I bought him breakfast. I wasn't trying to come into him or anything. I just thought it was a nice thing to do. But then the lady refused to serve him because he was like homeless and on crack. And then they were like, well, whatever, more stuff happened, blah, 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 blah. I didn't like the shitting. It was loud. It made me go, like, I could, like, taste it. But apart from that, similarities between me and Elliot Rodger, yes, there are some. It's been known to be the case. Let's begin. Number one, he spent a lot of time on online internet forums, and I spent a lot of time refreshing my Twitter page and smishing my disgusting small penis. You know, one day if I press it so hard, it will actually go back inside. I've actually tried to stop spending so much time online recently. I've been trying to develop skills and hobbies for the first time as a 20-year-old, breathtaking. It's not an endeavor that I plan to continue for much longer. Having skills and hobbies disgust me, and working hard at anything is, I think, weakness and slave morality, because I'm not good at it. And so personally, I think that it should burn, and if you have ever tried at anything, you should kill yourself. Some people are born into being gifted kids, some people regress into it, like me. I think it's commonly understood that Elliot Rodgers spent a lot of time on 4chan, which is not actually my knowledge of the situation. If he did, he was an anon, which is whatever, but he was kind of an attention whore, so I kind of would have doubted it. Probably he would have been all random, he would have been named faggot, like a loser who would do that. Not me. But he was a named user on a lot of bodybuilding forums, of course. Why would I be on those bodybuilder forums? I have my own foid maxing forums to attend to, but they're very similar. He was trying to get big and strong, and I was trying to find people who are big and strong to mash my head repeatedly with their fist like this. If you check 4chan nowadays, everything on Fit is just gay boys posting their stomachs and other gay boys who are large and bulky going like, ooh, that's good. Because everyone on 4chan seems to forget that you can just walk outside and you will find a lot of emasculated men with low T. They don't just exist on 4chan. You can ogle people in real life. I've been trying to get more into ogling people. I've always been too shy to do it. I always think, wow, I'm a gay predator ogling people. But it's actually not that bad. You can just be like a regular predator ogling people. They don't know that you're gay. Anyway, point two, he's half English and I was born uninsold. My family has a generational curse, much like, you know, Elliot Rodgers, his curse being born British. Mine being that everyone in my family is like disgustingly ugly. At least on my dad's side, we were all cursed with these like horrible, like prehistoric, like you would see it in like an Ice Age movie or a fossil, like these deep jaw, ooh, they jut out like this. caveman teeth at the front. I can only assume that in past lives we were all anteaters or things with really large teeth. Probably not vampires, that would be way too cool. But although vampires are very gay, and my dad is very gay as in bad, gay as in terrible. I know that this generational curse still exists because my sister had probably the ugliest, like most disgusting, like putrid creature come out recently. Probably, I hesitate to call it a baby. It has a face that I don't even think a mother could love. I'm sure that it will grow to have a soul that his mother can love, however, because his mother is of low moral value and probably could love something like that. More power to Sam. Part number 3, he knew that Freudkind must pay for hogging all of the autistic bisexual trait. So he didn't really say so in those words, but it's kind of implied within his work that he had a subtle obsession with autistic bisexual trait and perhaps modifying his body for them. It's just kind of a vibe I get. I mean, a lot of heterosexual discourse is about men proving themselves to other men. This is no new ground to tread. But why is that? Well, I think it's because of a repressive sexual desire. A thing upon which you only care about the value ascribed to you by other people that you see as worthy, and you don't see women as worthy at all. At that point, you should just have homosexual relations with a man. Your life will be so much easier. But B, well, he's literally me, so how could it be like, different, or the same thing? I think that if he were trying to chase autistic bisexual trait, he would have killed himself 10 years earlier. Also, maybe he would have some success because bisexual people are demons and they have extremely low standards. That's how I always manage to hook them myself. I think that he has a lot of inspirational things to say about growth and becoming a better person. And it's sad that he gave up on that to stab his roommates like a bajillion times with a knife. Part 4. He spoke in American despite being English, and I speak in TTT despite being a fake transsexual. It's always interested me that he decided to make the choice to actively impede himself by sounding American. I feel like it would have made his points 10 times stronger if he had if he had an old money voice behind it. That's why I put on my work. If I spoke with the accent I was born with, it would sound like a really horribly racist impression of a Chinese person, so. Point number 5, his plan ended up being shit and everyone laughed at him. I hope this could never happen to me, but just to make sure, I'm never gonna try anything in my entire life. I've had some people laugh at me because they get nervous because of my stunningly interesting looks. I don't know if that's a good thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing, it evokes some kind of reaction, and I am sure that it brings a great sense of familiarity between me and Ellie Rodger. Thank you for watching my video. So bye. Bye.